Yo, what's good? It's your boy Sid. We back at it with another video. I'm here to do and continue this series, do a video on the series basically of what happens when we have the sun sign coming into the 10th house. Now, this is gonna be a video where I'm actually not gonna be in front of the camera today, so I'm behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try to put up some type of picture, some type of picture basically to go with the video and stuff. So you're just gonna have to follow along with the words and stuff to understand the placement. So I always tell you guys that the sun is a representation of your ego. It's gonna represent your identity. It's gonna represent your personality, self-expression, how you naturally shine, and where you shine in terms of the house. And it's the planet that represents your father as well. So that's just some things to think about. Now, the 10th house, the 10th house is basically going to represent your career. It's the sector that tells us about career. Talks about your public image and reputation in terms of how you're seen in the world. It's going to tell us also about authority figures like bosses and supervisors. They'll be seen from this 10th house, right? So when we have the energy of the sun coming into this 10th house, first off, before I actually get there, what I'm going to say is that the 10th house, or the cusp of the 10th house, is what's known as the MC, or the medium coli. This translates to the middle of the skies or the heavens, and this would be the place when you look in a chart that's actually opposite of the 4th house cusp, which is known as the IC, or the Imam coli. And Imam coli is basically the bottom of the skies or heavens. So that's just something to note. So what I like to say is, when you have the sun sign coming to the 10th house, this is actually similar to having a Capricorn sun, even if you basically have a whole nother sun sign, right? Because your sun is basically embodying the qualities of Capricorn, as this is a Capricorn house. You could also think of it as the sun is influencing this house, so this is similar to having a basically Leo on the 10th house cusp, because the sun rules over Leo basically. So that's another way to look at it. And what I like to do sometimes is when we see a sun going through a certain house, it's going to reflect the planet basically that it corresponds with that house. So Capricorn corresponds with Saturn. When you think of Saturn, Saturn is about restrictions, but it's about career. It's the planet of career. So that's another way you could find out about your careers by actually looking at your Saturn placement. But I'm getting off topic. I just want to say that Saturn is about restrictions, karmic lessons. So being that your sun is coming here, you're supposed to shine in the areas of career, right? You're supposed to be an authority figure, a good manager. This could be a good boss, CEO type of individual. But it's usually going to come, after your 30s. Reason being is because, again, Saturn is a karmic planet, and it kind of corresponds with that 10th house energy. So there can be some delays basically here with career. Now, another thing I like to say is that you can also look at, for instance, or use the sun basically to denote the careers that you can naturally do well in. Look at any planets that's in this house as career indications, and also the sign that's on this cusp basically of this house. So but besides that, the sun in the 10th house, sun we know rules over children, which I've told you guys before. It's also going to deal with any type of creative endeavors, creative arts, dramatic arts, the entertainment industry. These are just some things that could be seen from the sun. Any careers that deal with speculation, so like gambling, working in casinos, things of this nature, can be actually seen with the sun's energy here. So again, like I said, look at the planets there, because this will give you, if you have other planets in that house, will give you an indication of career. Look at, again, the sign that's there on the cusp as well. And another thing you can actually do is you can look at the rulers, right? The ruler of your 10th house. Look to see what house is deposited into. This will basically mean the sign, right? The sign that rules over the cusp of the 10th house. You need to know the planet that rules over that sign. So for instance, say if it was Cancer, then you will look to see where the moon is in your chart, right? If it's a Leo that you have on that there, you look for the sun where that's at in the chart, which will, of course, will be in the 10th house. If you have Scorpio, you look for Mars and Pluto to see where they are at in your chart. If you have Aries, look for Mars again. If you have Taurus or Libra, look for Venus. If you have Gemini or Virgo on your 10th house cusp, you look for where Mercury is at in your chart. In terms of the house placement, and let's see, am I missing anything? If you have Aquarius, you can look for Saturn and Uranus. If you have Sagittarius or Pisces, you can look for where Jupiter is at if it's on your cusp or your 10th house. And if you have just Pisces alone, you can look for Neptune. So yeah, you look for basically the ruler, right, or the Lord, what they call it. Look to see what house it's in, right? So for instance, I'm gonna give you some examples. If the ruler of your 10th house is in the first house, this can indicate you maybe working for yourself. If it's coming through the second house, this could be you working in areas that deal with finance, stockbroking, being I would say cashier, but I don't consider that a career, even though it could be. Working in banking, things of this nature. If you have your 10th house ruler in the third house, areas of communication, you may also work or have some type of career that's in your immediate neighborhood, or where you go on short distance travels, maybe like a postal worker, delivery man, things of this nature, bus driver. If you got it in the fourth house, this could be you working with family or working from your home and for your career, or in real estate, things of this nature. Interior designing. If you have it in the fifth house, this could be some form of entertainment. If you have it in the sixth house, this could be the service industry. If you have your ruler of your 10th house in the seventh house, this could be you doing something with contracts, like a lawyer, an attorney, or like a judge. A relationship counselor can be seen from the seventh house. If it's in the eighth house, this can be any occult matters as a career. This can also be working with the deceased, whether it's through mediumship work or being what's the shit called? I'm losing my thoughts right now. Funeral director, things of this nature. Also too, maybe a criminal investigator. This is just some examples. There's way more, but that can show up as the eighth house as well. Forensics investigations. Maybe a career in criminality. And if you got it in the ninth house, a priest, pastor, someone who's a theologian who travels a lot in their career. If it's in the 10th house, this can be you having to balance your work life and your home life, basically. But you could be pretty much a workaholic with this placement. If it's in the 11th house, I consider like the internet, as it deals with technology. So maybe some type of career using technology, or when you deal with different networks of people, groups of people, because this is also what this 11th house deals with as well. If it's in the 12th house, you working behind the scenes, or the 12th house also deals with institutions that are like isolated. So this could be like a hospital, working in psych wards, working at a monastery, maybe being a monk. It also deals with distant locations. So this could be you working somewhere off distant, basically. It deals with spirituality, poetry, can be seen with this placement. Possibly even entertainment, because this is a Pisces house. Pisces can rule over entertainment. So I'm getting off topic, kind of, but trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to state with this placement? In terms of your reputation, you're seen as someone who's shining. You're seen as someone who has the light, basically. You could be well known with this placement. And since this is also the house that represents your bosses and supervisors, they can actually uh, display the same type of energy because you both are giving off that Sun or Leo like energy. So they could be people who are well known too. There may be a dynamic to where you want to be seen in your career and you want attention in this area, and they can feel like that too in terms of your bosses and supervisors, right? But you guys are again that CEO. You guys are the managers, the bosses. Um, you're supposed to be naturally shining in this area. So that's just some information. I hope that it resonates with you guys. You can leave your comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the page. The YouTube channel, The Scales Will Prevail. And like the video, comment below your thoughts, and stay tuned. We got more videos coming. All right, y'all. Peace.